This is how I made 10 million in entrepreneurial services in merely 3 months of work, and you too can. You can go from this to this, and ultimately to this. Money is the root of all evil, yet money is the only thing that regulates the activities of the world. Let me tell you something, the hunger for money, the craze for it, has never been madder. You've got your favorite billionaire who's just released his book, which is supposedly to help you navigate this cruel economy, and perhaps serve as some testimony, a guide or whatever, on how you too can do it. As far as I know, it's supposed to be raw, unfiltered. If you've watched The Day of the Jackal, the British drama series, you'd know it's all a sham, and how the character Ulle Dag Charles was portrayed in the series is just a typical replica of what happens in the real world. The rich don't care about you. No billionaire will want you to know how he's done it. There's a reason why the phrase, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, is still alive today. I'm unpacking every step, helping you with the math if you're terrible in math. I know I once was. I'm going raw, actual raw, telling you how the people around me do it, and what they wouldn't want any other man. There are 2 reasons you're likely to turn away from this. 1. Isn't this just another means of selling themselves and their own product? 2. You've heard this already. What's new? There is only one reason why your interest should be piqued and why you should adhere to this. 1. You're a young adult, and you need to make this money. I'll leave it at that. Making money offline is better than making money online. Here's why. What? That's totally absurd, you might say. But let me break it for you. Now, I know the trend is starting an online store. I see students on my WhatsApp contacts, most of whom are friends. Once they're done with their senior school exams, they start bombarding your feed with posts, shoes, bags, clothes, perfumes. That's the most popular one, and the next thing you hear is, patronize me. First, I will commend every young individual for the tiniest thought of being responsible and wanting to actually gain a source of income, but the real issue here is being unequipped. Just because you saw a friend selling clothes online doesn't mean you should too. Starting a business isn't an overnight job. In fact, in any sane country, there are things need to put in place before you even begin a business. Even if it's selling clothes, shoes, or perfume, there are state licenses you need to get first, and these licenses come with you having a physical store, so people are certain that your business isn't a fraud. Every day, I see young boys and girls come to the internet, crying, "Don't buy from this store, they ripped me." Why won't they rip you? You saw a page with 200,000 followers which likely was bought. They promised you a Malaysian whatever wig which is completely natural and luscious. I don't know wig lingo, and then almost immediately, you make your interest known. They ask you for your address, you tell them, and at once, they ask you to make payment for the wig, 500k. You do it immediately. They block you at once, delete the WhatsApp you've had with their admin. And that's it, 500k gone. Do you know what that same 500k which you foolishly gave out can do? It can open 2 stores, yes, stocked, and can fetch you at least 250k from each monthly. I will soon go into that, but let me tell you a true story. I was once outside and I overheard a woman who was coming to complain to a hairdresser that she'd been ripped right on this same street. She said she came across a post on Wig Shop on Instagram, selling wigs which immediately caught her eye. There was one in particular she wanted, over 100,000 naira. Just to be certain the store was legit, she started requesting for the store details, address and all. They actually gave her an address, and to her surprise, it was a street she was familiar with. In fact, it was the same street her hairdresser's shop was. And as much as she knew, there was only one salon on that street, the same salon she goes to make her hair. So how come there was a wig shop and she knew not about it? These scam pages cannot and will not make you a billionaire. The time invested into running an account and responding to DMs can be used for something more lucrative. Selling shoes online, clothes, perfumes, will only fetch you mere income, your daily feed at most. It will not make you billions. Billions, not millions. I wanted to say something to this lady who was almost scammed, but of course, women matter. It was best I just stayed out of it. The only thing out of this talk between the ladies is that, even if the hairdresser made wigs which were stunning and carefully crafted, her customer went ahead to inquire online, all because she saw a page with 500,000 followers. Now let me tell you the downside to this. You might be thinking this page would be making thousands of millions of naira on a daily just because of their large following, but the truth is, large following doesn't always equal large income. And now, back to my case study on why selling offline, or as they say, off the grid, is more profitable, worry-free, and more scalable than going online. You see these billionaires, most of them do it offline. These big names you hear of, how many of them come on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook telling you, buy your wig today, it will boost your confidence tomorrow. Below are a list of businesses which you can start offline with little capital. 1. Childcare services. This is one business that doesn't even require much, only your patience and attention, in that you will be caring for kids. Let's do the math. 10 infants in your daycare, and it is important to have a max capacity for infants you take in, because besides the money, you are caring for children, real humans. It's not just about feeding them and changing the diapers. You have to be alert. So, if you are moved by the money and then decide to accept 20 kids all at once, you might be on a thin thread, not unless you're fully staffed. Now, back to our breakdown. 10 infants. 50k naira, $33 from each per month equals 500k. You have 2 individuals working with you, and you pay 70 to 80k each. Let's take 70k. 70 times 2 equals 140,000. 500,000 minus 140,000 equals 360,000. Your profit every month is 360,000, much larger than the pay of 70% workers in Lagos, Nigeria today. And you know the best part of it, this could be a side gig. Once you have a place well equipped for kids and furnished to a homely feel, you can employ 6 to 10 workers, giving you capacity for enrolling more infants into your daycare. Now imagine you have 40 to 50 toddlers in your care, with a number of employees, you'll be making much more than estimated. Two. Self-service. This is where skills come in play. The average cleaning company makes $15,000 monthly. They have only 5 workers. Each of these workers get paid $1,000, which to me is quite unfair. 5 times 10 equals 5,000. The company keeps $10,000 to itself. Now, imagine this company has over 5 branches in 5 different states. That is $50,000 that the owner of this company gets monthly, and this calculation is not even close to the actual income. You have no idea what's going on. People are making it. 3. Provision store. People will always eat. That's the truth. No matter how the economy is, people will surely buy food to eat. Which is why a provision store in this day is advisable. Do you know how much a provision store in an urban area makes every day? The 5th on my list is for people who aren't living in developed areas. I was at a place some time ago, and can you believe the entire community lacks 24/7 electricity? Now, do you know what a smart guy did? He opened a shop, has 100 outlets for charging, and charges 200 naira per phone, 400 naira for power banks. If in a day 50 people bring in their phones to charge, he's making 10,000. If another set of 50 people turn in their power banks, he's making 20,000. Combined, he makes 30k per day for just charging phones. Out of the 30k, he spends only 10k per day on fuel, which leaves his income to 20k every single day. 20k times 7 equals he makes 140k in a week. In 4 weeks, he's making 560k for just charging phones and power banks. Now, do you know what this guy did? He then decided to expand his business, incorporating video games into it. He expanded his shop and made a place for video games so as to ensure the phones and power banks are safe. He has 2 3-LED TVs and 3 gaming consoles. Each of the console comes with a gaming pad. He changes each individual 1k, 2 hours. 1 console equals 2 individuals who pay 1k each. In 2 hours he makes 2k. His shop opens for 12 hours equals 2k times 12 equals 24k from 1 console. Meanwhile, he has 3 consoles equals 24k times 3 equals 72,000 per day from gaming. 72k times 7 days equals 504,000 in a week. In a month, he makes 2,016,000 million naira. This has been the easiest, efficient and massive side gig I've come to find since 2025 began. Now, I know there are people reading this who would rather work in an office than being in a charging, gaming shop. But the thing is, you don't even need to be on site. Hire 3 workers, 2 for the charging shop, and 1 for the gaming shop. What if they rip me? You might think, how much do they want to rip you that is more than what they're giving you? Just lay a target for them using your own calculations. If they exceed the calculations, they get to exceed the target, they get to keep the money, which is also a plus to their salary. Now just imagine being wise and you have 5 different stores in different places. You are likely to be making over 7 meters in a month. Size. I think I should just end the book here, because 7 meters gross profit in a month. In a year, you make over 70 million naira. I can assure you that 50% of Nigerians over the age of 20 are yet to make 1 meter in a year. Meanwhile, here you are making 7 meters per month from a side gig. 6. The sixth on this list is purchase of lands. Dearest reader, you don't really need to purchase lands in a much developed area. Go somewhere else, even the least developed ones, so long as your money can afford it. Lands never depreciate, unlike phones and cars. The value of a land always adds up. So, if you purchase a land in Ogun State for 5 million, in 5 years, perhaps, an emergency arises, you can sell that same land for 10 million. Take half the money, get another land, and use the remaining for your emergency upkeep. Not only have you invested, you've also tended to your personal keep. Why do you think billionaires purchase lands? You will hear of a university purchasing 20 acres of land. It is massive money. That is why their generation never gets to have a whiff of a work environment. The foundation of a worry-free life has been set for them. The only role they have to play is being disciplined to the public eye. To make money is hard, to make money is also easy. But first, you need to do away with that can't be achieved mindset. You see, the brain is structured in a way to protect us. And by protecting you, it automatically draws you back from certain things. When you plan to venture into a business, your brain tells you, what if you fail? What if this business fails? It will bring you shame. Don't blame your brain, it's only trying to protect its owner. But the thing about the brain is, once you've achieved something, it becomes easier to achieve it again, because the brain already knows that you did not die doing it the first time, you won't die doing it again. Now, you need to work on yourself. It's not a want, it's a need. Let your mindset have its shift. Let it grow, let it be fueled, nourish it as much as you would nourish yourself. Try things out, even if it fails, even if your family members laugh at you because you're now a graduate with no dime to your name, just try something out. Do not go into scamming. I cannot stress this enough. How many of the scammers out there make up a list of the world's 100 top billionaires? Not one, not even 100,000 of them can make up the list. Would you love to know why? It's because they didn't work for the money. Any money not worked for is a money with no value. And when you have no value, you are left with nothing. Scamming is for fools, big ones. Be diligent and careful in your dealings. Also, pray every day. I call it PED. Till later, dear reader. Yours zealously, Anonymous Advisor.
Chips.